Luyu, Rex,
Pomray,
Naomi,
Fasciana,
Babbler,
gray eyes, fill my eyes.
assemble. When the clock slips past polite, that's when the room starts telling the truth. Monday night in the garden of enlightenment, heads bow low while the room grows intelligent. Every pause got a pulse, every stare got a meaning. Like the dark learned to speak and the wall started leaning. Then it slips after midnight, nice manners go missing. Thoughts get taller, words cut closer, nobody's just listening. Twisted Tuesdays bend the frame till the clean lines skew, where the truth walks in slow, wearing somebody else's shoes. And the words don't sit, they move. Gotta wait in the chest, gotta bend in the groove. Every line like a knock from the back of the brain, like you dragged in one version, you won't leave the same. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Oh, late night poets, something more. Wednesday splits parts in the part synced on the middle, half grace, half damage, all nerve in the signal. Then the art is seduction, glides in thin-skinned, all silk on the tongue with a knife tucked in it. And not crafting, sullen art, we make it articulate through the hush of heart spine, make the whole room sit with it. Then break on through when the polished front blurs, when the mask can't hold in the real thing stirs. Fill my eyes with poetry, let it hit full force. No safe little lines, no watered down source. Bad company last with its tide pulled loose in rhythm and rhyme puts a pulse in the bruise. Every name on the bill feels less like a name, more like doors in a hall where the air still changes. You don't come here to fade, play me to stay numb. You come here to hear what you might become. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Some come shattered, some come dressed clean. Some say a little and still split the scene. Some sound velvet, some sound wire. Some walk in quiet and take the room higher. That's the thing, the same background sound. This is breath with the backbone, it with the crown. This is late souls, live mics, eyes held open. A room full of hearts, refusing to coast into silence. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Oh, late night poets. When the clock slips past polite, we tell the truth. LNP. I love you, Quicken.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Twisted Tuesdays with the Twisted Sisters. I hope everyone's having a great week, and I hope you all have a better week to follow. And let me see. Hi, Pam. Oh, Twisted Sisters.
Hey,
And
Phil, how's it going?
it's going good, hon. How's it going with you?
Well, all in all, pretty good, I have to say. Um,
Very good.
yeah, it's been a like laid back kind of day. I mean, like I got stuff done, but I wasn't stressed to get stuff done. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Right?
it just felt good. Felt good. I
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
I got a little bit done today myself. Excuse me, except for my neck. I didn't get that. It was just kind of it was so hot. I know it's
Mm.
right about it being cold, but it was so hot here. Say, how hot was it, Pam? Say it. Come on.
How hot was it?
It was so hot. I don't know. It was like 96 degrees.
Holy moly.
Ah, it was awful. And it was sticky and it was awful and it was rotten and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I still had to cook, and cooking is hot and the temperature was hot. And then all of a sudden, the breeze
Yeah,
in the back
that's
door to let the dog in, and this beautiful breeze came in my back door, and then it poured rain. And I said, I love it. I love it. Now, tomorrow we're supposed to be in the 60s. So go figure. But
that is crazy.
it's
That
kind of like
really
being a
is.
surfer. It's kind of like being a surfer. You just spray to down the board as the wind, the waves crash and rise and crash. That's the temperature. Up and down and up and down. Yes, yes, yes. But it was just nasty. For the most part, it was just so hot and so sticky. I looked at the dog. I said, "Don't come near me. You stay over
Oh
there
my goodness.
at a distance." Yep. But that's all right. Now, how was your weather today?
Well, not like yours.
Yeah.
Um, it was overcast. Like I said, I had posted an LNP that we were up to 53 degrees, but I was wrong. Our high today was 51. In fact, it's crazy because, like I saw that you're in the 90s. JoJo's in the 90s. Rex's weather, I because when his weather was like lower than yours, not much. Like he
Right.
said, his high was like 91,
Right.
and so I got to 51, and even Monarch Soul, who lives in Alaska, said that her temperatures were at 56. So
Right.
even Alaska was warmer, not by much, but still even Alaska was warmer. But yeah, I mean, I didn't go outside because it's damp, it's overcast, like to me, it's odd because if it was 56 or I mean 51 and sunny, I'd probably be out for a walk,
Right. Right.
you know. But because it's 51, drizzling and overcast and windy,
Right.
it just doesn't feel good at
Yeah.
all.
Then it feels cold. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you. Yeah. I don't do the heat and I don't do the cold, so I'm kind of stuck in the middle with complaining. And Amy Lynn says, now everybody listen. Amy Lynn says that it was 88 degrees today in Georgia. Everybody notice that? I remembered it was.
Wow.
She said it was 91 yesterday. We were in the 90s yesterday as well.
That's actually, I have to say that's actually lower than I would expect Georgia to be this time of year.
Oh
I
no, I
mean,
know.
I've never been to Georgia, but I figure since it's so close to Florida, it's got to get pretty hot.
Yeah, Florida's just a little different. I don't know. I can tolerate Florida weather. I don't know why, because I'm not one for the heat. And hello, Monty G. Dot 25. How are you? So yeah, it was a pretty. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. We don't like. Well, we never used to have a lot of 90-degree days, like 95, 94. That was like not normal for us. But what is normal these days? They change everything. The Mother Nature has just changed the whole layout. So and now I feel like
All right.
I feel like I live close to the pits of hell. But that's only because of the heat. Let's see what this says. Amy said that was a good job, Jean. She said that's not typical for her there, but she's in the northern part of the state in the mountains. Yeah. Monty G says, I'm fine, thank you, and hope you guys are awesome. So far, so good. So far, so good. We're griping about the weather. What's your weather, Monty? Tell us what it is and where you are. I know you're supposed to be in Australia, I believe. I don't know if you're top, bottom, middle. I don't want your zip code. I don't want your address. Just a basic idea. But yeah, it's oh yeah, the weather's kind of quirky, but whatever. I just stay near the air conditioner and say yes, 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 yes. That's the only thing that's the only way I get through the summer. Absolutely.
Right.
But he's in Perth. I don't want your zip code, I said. The temp is around 65 degrees. Wow.
Now that, now we just, now that we have his zip code, we can go ahead and send him cookies.
Yeah, there you go. Pam's going to send you cookies. Watch them cookies. They might be a trap to get you into that dungeon.
Yes. Yeah. Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Oh my God. What was it we said the other day? We made some good joke about you in the dungeon. What the hell was it? I think you were here. I don't remember. We said something. It was a riot, actually. But that's okay. I get a little bit. Oh, would they be chocolate chip cookies? Yeah. Just one of those jokes. I like your one about the cleaning lady even better than.
Oh my gosh. It's funny that Monty mentions chocolate chip cookies because this Saturday is my oldest child's 25th birthday. And, I want to do something for her, but she, like her youngest sibling, she's just not a cake person. So she's like, would you make chocolate chip cookies? And I'm like, I'm going to take a pizza pan and make a giant pizza size chocolate chip cookie, and she loved that idea. So that's what we're doing on Saturday, is having giant cookies the size of pizzas.
Well, there you go. So you're throwing a couple small ones and mail them out to Monty G.
Yep.
Just put a couple up to the side. Not necessarily pizza size. That could be high on airfare. But let's look at this. Jesus will pay for freight. It would be cheaper for you to go and buy some good chocolate chip cookies than it would to pay for that delivery. You know what I mean?
There you go. I actually saw a lot. Like I looked up cookie pizzas because I knew the idea existed, but I hadn't seen it in a while. So I looked it up, and it's not just chocolate chip. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
All kinds of different ones. You can do the M&M style candies, and different whatever toppings float your boat.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Sounds like Pam's in business.
There you go.
You can mail them, or you can start with mailing them to Perth, and then go from there.
Well, I'm in business until they taste my cooking.
Oh, well, somehow I doubt that, but yes. So yes, my daughter came over tonight, and we had dinner. I made a ham. I know it's 95 degrees. I'm cooking ham. So we had ham, and we had mashed potatoes. I made some sweet potatoes. They're the only sweet potatoes I've ever had in my life that I could say I really liked. I don't know. It was a fluke that I made them right. And then, oh look, it's a cookie cake. There you go, Amy Lynn. She's the bakery girl. That
sounds good.
My daughter went crazy for the sweet potatoes. I actually made them for her, but I ended up turning out liking them. And we had peas. It wasn't an elaborate dinner, but it was dinner. And yeah. So my son and my grandson were out all day together. I don't know if both returned or just one made it back. You should know how that can be. Oh my God. So yeah, so it was not, and then we're still working on wedding invitations. Oh God. My daughter does not. She does not work like me. I say, okay, let's set it up in some kind of a
Yeah.
production line, and she's like, well, we're gonna do this, and I go, okay. And then the next time she was, okay, well, we're gonna do this now. I have touched these invitations 4 times, literally 4 steps in 4 different days. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, I'm going to hurt you. Yeah. But I said, whatever, whatever. I bit my tongue. I think there's a big
Oh,
hole in,
absolutely. Well,
you
that's
know.
the thing with the bride is sometimes you just got to go, okay, let's, you can offer up some thoughts, but for the most part, it's like, you know what? It's your wedding, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of, to me, it's just a matter of, well, from working. When I worked, I wasn't the greatest at like keeping up on my filing and everything, but I knew where everything was. But when I did something, I did it in step one, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not like step one today, step two tomorrow. This is like once a week. I'm like, oh my God, and I don't want to like I don't want to put something in an envelope so I can take it out of an envelope later to do something else. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me. But I just said, whatever, shut up, Gene. So I did. I shut up. I did. I did. I did.
Hmm.
It was pretty tricky. Yeah, that's hard for me. You know me, Pam. Very hard for me to bite my tongue. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I get that. I get that.
hmm um, what's this the other day? How about Bulgarian carrot cake? Ooh, but I love carrot cake, but I don't know about Bulgarian
Well,
carrot
the fact that he says, I believe the colloquial term is brick, makes me think that a Bulgarian carrot cake is very similar to what we serve as a fruit cake, like during the
cake.
holidays. That
That,
at
yeah,
least that's what I'm guessing. Like,
yeah. Well, that's where my mind would go, you know.
yes.
But our carrot cakes are good. Mm,
And I can totally relate to Amy. And I tried to make charcoal the other day. A pan got left in the oven from
good.
first shift. I get that. I've been there myself. The worst, um, the worst mistake I ever made, and I can't say it was the worst, but it was one of the top five.
Good.
Was I had this recipe for homemade brick peanut brickle, yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
Brittle,
where
yeah,
it's
peanut brittle, yeah.
yes, yes, and to make in the microwave, and it's a really good recipe. I'll have to find it again. But for some reason, one of the times I made it, I didn't think about the fact that it had to be like, like a glass, or like you couldn't use plastic. And I used a plastic container, and oh my God, once that sugar and corn syrup started getting really hot, it just completely melted the plastic, and
Yeah.
the sugary mix and the melted plastic went all over the microwave.
Um,
Yeah, it was bad.
oh, yeah, you have to just love when stuff like that happens. And let's say hello to Monarch Soul. She said she's listening over on YouTube. Yes, yes, yes. So that's always nice.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, I'm going to send her a little note so that way she knows I'm talking to her. I'm sure she hears us.
Yeah, listening over at YouTube is such a great option. I mean, it's great to have people listening anywhere they can, but
Right, right.
I like the option of YouTube.
Me too. I like the option that they can listen either on Facebook, if they're on Facebook. Not everybody has a Facebook account. They can
Exactly.
listen on YouTube. They can come into LNP, or they can come right on in here to the studio. Hello, Robbie. Robbie is here.
Oh, very cool.
He's
Hello, Robbie.
back. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I like the fact that we have the options. Speaking of the options now, I got the hiccups. Oh, I need to start drinking, I guess, to justify having the hiccups. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, just in case anybody that isn't aware, I did put up a contest today for Shamala, and it's posted, and it'll run to the 6th of June. And the link is in the topic board. And anyone who is not an LNP, check out the contest page. Sorry, Pam, just had to do it.
Oh, no problem at all. That is a very important contest and a very important show. So I would like to hear it mentioned as much as possible, you know, because absolutely, absolutely.
Since I just put it up today, I didn't want to be, you know, posting and posting and posting. I figured, you know, once or twice a day is good. But since I'm here, I'll say something. So anyway,
Yes.
What else do we have happening? Oh, I don't know. But it looks like you have a nice board of poetry.
Yes.
For sure, for sure. So that's good. We're getting there. We're getting there. A good board of poetry should. Yeah, we should have a good night tonight, for real. So what is our show tonight, Pam? Come on and do tell. Do tell.
Des Manglis, which I will apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but I think that's closer than what I was saying before. Because before I was saying Des Mangles, and then I thought, well, you know, that probably isn't right. And I tried to find the pronunciation, because sometimes you can look up somebody and put it on video, and you'll find a video with their name, and you can hear how it's pronounced. But yeah, so I wasn't able to do that, you know. So if anybody does know the pronunciation and can, you know, phonetically spell it out for me, then yeah, that would be great. But oh my gosh, I love his artwork. I love the connection between women and nature, and the almost ethereal like imagery. And then I thought, because he is a Haitian artist, I thought, you know, I should look up some Haitian proverbs to go with the artwork. Now, usually when I do something like that, it's because it's like, you know, National Haitian Month, or you know, National Month for Haiti or something like that. But it wasn't. It just because I really liked the artwork, and then that extra thought came into my mind. But yeah, he's a self-taught artist, Albert Des Manglis. Anybody who has not already checked out his artwork, please do so. I highly recommend checking it out. He was born in Port-au-Prince on May 31st, 1957. His interest in art began at a very early age. His brother, who is noted artist Henry Vestine, who I will admit I have not looked at his artwork, I'll have to go do that, taught him drawing, perspective, and the use of colors. Following the advice of his mentors, Bernard Sejourne, Jean-René Jerome, and Néhémie Jean, he studied the features of different ethnic types from America. He began to paint universal women using light to illustrate their power. He has participated in many exhibits internationally. His art depicts an arabesque of contours and transparent forms. And I love that, his use of light, and like I said, you can look at the artwork and you really can see that connection between, I mostly women. I can't remember off the top of my head if he paints any pictures, art of men, but I will have to say, only because I liked the theme so much, that I focused on a lot of his artwork for inspiration that had to do with women and nature. And of course, we do have, oh, okay, Albert de Mangels. Mangles. Okay, de Mangles.
I don't know. I
according.
put it in
Okay.
Google Translate, and that's what it came up with. So I don't know for sure.
Ah, all right, very cool. Thank you so much for looking that up, Phil. I appreciate that. But yeah, we have contest entries, and then we have a few. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board, and three of those weren't written. Like those 4 weren't written for the contest. But they connect as far as I can tell with the artwork. But yeah, and of course we're going to start out with a classic poem. And I have to say that it took me like 5 days and some help from Jean to actually find classic Haitian poetry where the poems were in English. So, oh my goodness gracious.
I did not find that to be an easy task, Pam.
It was not, was it? I thought it was going to be.
Right?
You know, what's crazy is there's actually a lot of both classic and modern Haitian poets. Like,
Right.
but a lot of it was written in either mostly French, but also Spanish. But yeah, this one website has them written in English and also the French and sometimes Spanish. So, but that's that really helped.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get this ball rolling. So first up is the classic poem, which is The Firefly by Ignacy Nau. And it goes like this. The day falls and it's gone. It goes, ascends, descends, flies, passes, et returns, incessantly in space. Traveling star, small firefly, so lively and so joyful, kindly buzzing, soothing, and blue to the eye, from ground to ground by the spark of your lightning, always alone, mysteriously seeking the most expensive perfumes. Under the fragrant hedge, it's the Belle de Nuit with a shiny dress shimmering open to the gleaming moon. Fly, shine, and buzz. Fill yourself with the scents gifted by the breeze, because the night is crowned with stars and flowers. End poem. And that was translated by Miriam Patterson. Yeah, so the thing is, I knew that this poem was kind of singularly focused on the firefly, but I thought it worked because the firefly represents light, and there's so much light in the artwork, and also there's a mention of nature in this, but there's a lot of beautiful poetry. Like this site, which is called Ferris Haitians. I highly recommend if people want to read more classic Haitian poetry, because I couldn't find any on all poetry, which is very odd. But yeah, if anybody wants to read more classic Haitian poetry, this is definitely the website to check out. Jean, your thoughts on this classic poem?
Oh, I think it was just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Um, I loved the lines. I loved the imagery in it and everything else. I mean, I was just saying, wow, this is wonderful. And I don't, oh, I sound stupid. I don't know how it fits in with the show tonight, so I can't say it's a great choice for tonight's show, Pam, but I'm sure it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, if I said that, I'd be lying because I wouldn't be able to tell you I knew. But I did love the poem itself. Um, from just the title, Beauty of the Night, that in itself was lovely. It says the firefly, but it says Beauty of the Night at the bottom. Translator note, the Belle de Nuit. Oh, okay, that's what that line was. Never mind. Duh. I'm okay. Under the fragrant hedge, it's the beauty of the night with a shiny dress shimmering open to the gleaming moon. very pretty imagery in this. And I love that last stanza as well. Fly, shine, and buzz. Fill yourself with the scents gifted by the breeze, because the night is crowned with stars and flowers. Very pretty, very pretty. Nice pick, Pam. Nice pick. Like it very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was just thrilled to come across that website, and to be able to read. Yes. And great
Excellent.
comment there, Jean.
Good find.
All right. So we have up next, we're going into our contest entries. Beyond the Mountains, There Are Mountains by Arliss D. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read, please.
You got it. Let me just grab that link and put it where I need to. Keep myself out of trouble. You know how the boss gets when I mess up. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Oh, Beyond the Mountains, There Are Mountains by Arliss D. The plate glass clarity of the sea reflects the blur of my becoming. I leap from mountain to mountain, ignoring the depths of the abyss. Boughs of firs sway above the tree line. Winds whip pine cones across my feet. Writing bears the weight of my mortality. Desire peppers my face with sea-washed sand. Gulls broadcast arias and polyphonic names. I scurry to seal mine to their burgeoning list. I dream of sandhills ablaze on mystic islands. They remind me of mountains I have left behind. Now I peruse my reflection in the glass, wavy and wan. I am staging a poetic strike against mirrors until my skiff comes in. End poem. Nice. Nice piece.
Great read there, Jean. Yeah, this is a beautiful write, and he actually wrote to the title of his poem is the proverb that he wrote to. Beyond the mountains, there are mountains. Beautifully written couplets, wonderful imagery. I really like how he brings the mountains to life. But it's interesting because I like how the first part is about like the sand dunes. And then he brings in, they remind me of mountains I have left behind. And I think that works really well, both literally and metaphorically. Like literally the idea of moving to a new place and getting used to a new landscape, but metaphorically, having to adjust our thinking, having to adjust ourselves to a new perspective within our minds. And I think there's great lines throughout. And I also like how he mentions writing. Writing bears the weight of my mortality. Desire peppers my face with sea-washed sand. I like that those lines become the idea of writing being an expression of who we are as a person. This is actually a very difficult one to pick a favorite part because, to me, anyways, I think one line leads beautifully into the next. So, very well done by Arliss D.
Right. I agree with you there, Pam. I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, do I want this couplet and that couplet, or do I want this couplet? Oh, wait, I want the first couplet and the last couplet. It's very difficult because it runs beautifully together. It's more of more like a picture that's painted throughout the course of the poem. I did like, well, I like the first couplet very much. The plate glass clarity of the sea reflects the blur of my becoming. I thought that was a really captivating line. You read that and you go, oh, where are we going? Where are we going? And what follows did not disappoint. I thought that the imagery, as you said, was very well done. I leap from mountain to mountain, ignoring the depths of the abyss. You just keep moving forward. You have to ignore the abyss to get from where you are to where you want to be. And metaphorically, as you said, it's a great capture of thought there. Um, I also liked writing bears the weight of my mortality. Desire peppers my face with sea wash sand. I thought that was another good couplet there. Uh, writing bears the weight of my mortality. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very true of all of us. Our writing. We write based on us. And the more we live, the more we learn. The more we learn, the more we can express ourselves in different ways. So I like that very much. So this is a great piece. And thank you, Arlise, for sharing with us. I think the piece was great in its entirety and very well done. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. All right. Well, up next, we have The Clockmaker by Rosewinter 515. And it goes like this. All along Rosewood Lane, the pavement is wide and safe. Under the orchid trees, Mr. Finch keeps a small shop where clocks tick and tiny gears sit on his bench. In the morning, sunlight shining through the window makes the brass pieces shine. Families walk by and see Mr. Finch working slowly and carefully. Mr. Finch is gentle with his tools. A child brings a broken pocket watch. A baker leaves a warm loaf as thanks. One day, a neighbor comes and says, "Our old grandfather clock used to chime in the hall. Can you come and fix it so it will chime again?" Mr. Finch nods and walks to the neighbor's house. He opens the clock's wooden door, finds tired gears and a loose spring, cleans the parts, fits them together, and winds the spring so the clock can sing once more. People come to Mr. Finch for more than clocks. They sit down on his bench and tell him their worries. He listens carefully, then offers a calm word or a simple idea that might help. Mr. Finch is full of kind help and gentle advice. And when people leave, they feel a little lighter because problems are there to be solved. Rosewood's kindnesses are like clock gears, each one small, but all of them working together. At the market, the air smells of bread and spice. Nearby, Emma Rowan plants seeds in a garden, and all the children watch the soil. Beyond mountains, there are mountains, someone says, meaning there will always be new things to learn and new places to go. When the market bell rings, Mr. Finch closes his shop and walks home on the pavement with the others. He carries a fixed watch, a ribbon someone asked him to tie to a branch, and a paper boat folded by a child. Families walk side by side, talking softly. The orchid breathes a cool hush, and lights blink on in the windows. Next day, back at his bench, Mr. Finch returns to his tiny gears. He knows there will be more watches to mend and more small kindnesses to keep. He smiles, lifts his magnifier, and begins again, one careful turn, one day at a time. End poem.
Nice read, Pam. Nice read. Um, I really like this story very much. It had heart to it, Mr. Finch, the clockmaker. Well, he wasn't just that clockmaker. Um, people came to him because they could trust him and confide in him, and they trusted his guidance. Let's put it that way. People come to Mr. Finch for more than clocks. They sit down on his bench and tell him their worries. He listens carefully, then offers a calm word or simple idea that might help. Mr. Finch is full of kind help and gentle advice. And when people leave, they feel a little lighter because problems are there to be solved. Rosewood's kindnesses are like clock gears, each one small, but all of them working together. And then I skipped down uh, to, well, I'll just go right down to the next day, the very last lines. Next day, back at his bench, Mr. Finch returns to his tiny gears. He knows there will be more watches to mend and more small kindnesses to keep. He smiles, lifts his magnifier, and begins again, one careful turn, one day at a time. I just thought it was a really nice story. Uh, and I think Rose Winter 515 did a really great job with it. So nice job, Rose, and thanks for sharing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Yeah, I mean, this had wonderful lines throughout. It's just beautiful and heartfelt storytelling. I like her attention to detail and the way she brings the characters to life to
Right.
where, we feel like we really connect with them. I also like how through this story she pays tribute to what feels like an almost lost art form, the making of clocks, because we all carry around usually our phones, which have the you know
Yep.
time on them. There really isn't a lot of uses for clocks. Like, I remember my maternal grandmother had a grandfather clock, and that thing when I was a child looked so big, but then when I grew up, it didn't look quite as big, but it was still just absolutely beautiful. And then when I took a trip to Germany when I was in 12th grade, I brought back my sister a cuckoo clock from the Black Forest region, which is really well known for its cuckoo clocks. It's just like it feels like an lost art form. But the most important thing about this story to me is that it reminds us that life isn't just about our work. It's about taking time for people. It's about listening to people. um and I think there's great lines throughout, but that's why I particularly like that third stanza that starts with "People come to Mr. Finch for more than clocks." Wonderful lines by Rose Winter 515, and very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good night of poetry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the contest didn't get a huge response even after opening to pre-writes, but it's just, it's got quality. That's what it's
Right.
got, and I like it.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
all right. So we have Buzz, Hiss, and Murmur by John Poem. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read.
You got it. Amidst the buzz, hiss, and murmur, he struck mighty as murder. His white wall tissue and fangs down south swallowed the sallow-eyed baritone crooner. Head and 4 feet hung in recurved teeth, his as living legs kicked for survival. A reckless ruckus deep in the reeds, Mother Nature's relentless life cycle. Frozen in fascination, I watched as the lily pad lord became slugged and solemn, like a love story being burned and debauched in a grotesque, violent aquatic asylum. My heart wanted to wrestle and rescue, like a biased judge disrespecting nature's laws, as echoes of "eat and be eaten" filled the wild revenue and reverberated with resonance of a predator's call. End poem.
Great read, Jean. And John wrote to the Haitian proverb, and I'm only going to read the English. In the contest, they're all written in either French or another language, and then in English, but I'm only going to read the English, obviously. But, he wrote to the Haitian proverb, every vein touches the heart, which basically means we are all connected. And I think this is a wonderful poem. The imagery is realistic and visceral. I like how it takes a look at the little details of nature. How there's that cycle of life, and that idea of there is the hunters and the hunted, and how there's so much that like we like this makes me think of the idea that how much we don't like insects. At least I'm speaking for myself. I'm sure there are people who like them, but they're part of nature that other creatures depend on for a meal, for survival. And I like how this speaks on survival, and it speaks on the idea that so many life forces in nature are dependent upon each other. And I really particularly like Frozen in Fascination. I watched as the lily pad lord became slugged and solemn, like a love story being burned and debauched in a grotesque, violent aquatic asylum. Wonderful lines by John Poem, and very well done.
Well, Pam, you did it again. But I thought this is a nice job by John, nicely penned, and good use of alliteration because it was kind of subtle. You start to read and it'd be like, wait a minute, okay, we got living legs, kicked for survival, reckless ruckus deep in the reeds, lily pad lord became slugged and solemn, like a love story being burned and debauched. I don't know, it had a lot of lines that I thought, were good use of alliteration. And I was going for that stanza that you picked as well, but I was going to follow it with the final one.
Yeah, that was a particularly good stanza.
But I liked the final one as well because it kind of brought the prompt in just from what you had read. My heart wanted to wrestle and rescue, like a biased judge disrespecting nature's laws. And as echoes of eat and be eaten filled the wild venue and reverberated with resonance of a predator's call. So I think that tied it up nicely. But it was a well done piece all the way through. So nice job, John, and thanks for sharing with us tonight. Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. All right. So let's see what we have next. All right. Up next, we have Replace the Pain by, I'm sorry, what is that name again? I forget. Is it RL or RI?
I think it's RLJ. Yeah, RLJZOWRJ. I do not know how to pronounce it.
Okay, RLJZOWRJ. And it goes like this. Yes, my self-love washes away any dirt, so that pain won't be allowed to flirt with a frame that has peace to claim. Besides, pain is always persuading my personality to change. But no, pain just won't win. But pain should just completely end, so that my beautiful face can grin, without pain always trying to be my abusive friend. Yes, pain should just drown, so that my face won't ever frown again, while love is making my heart beat this pretty sound that never did like for pain to hang around. Besides, my positivity has to shine to also put pain in the blind with hopefully not another painful rewind that really wants to destroy my loving heart, my soul, and my brilliant mind because my emotions has to breathe without being attacked by this painful disease. End poem.
Nice read, Ben. I'm actually still reading a little bit of it, so forgive me. Um, and this is a very strong piece, um, and I'm not sure. I'm looking to see if I can find the prompt, but I don't have it in front of me. Prompt 6. Let me go and peek. Okay, prompt 6. We are like the sea; we wash away the dirt. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're faced with a disease, the best you can do is to try and, um, how do I want to say it? Kind of, you can't ignore it, but you kind of put it in the back and try and live. You try and make the best of it. Um, so I can kind of see a parallel between the prompt and the poem. But yeah, it's a very sad, well, a very sad piece. You know, um, let me see where I want to pick this up. Um, I think the first stanza captures the prompt well. Yes, my self love washes away any dirt, so that pain won't be allowed to flirt with the frame that has peace to claim. Besides, pain is always persuading my personality to change. Uh, I thought that really did grab the prompt right away. Um, and then I guess besides my positivity has to shine to also put pain in the blind was hopefully not another painful rewind that really wants to destroy my loving heart, soul, and my brilliant mind because my emotion has to breathe without being attacked by this painful disease. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to stay on the positive side. Without that, I mean, well, what do, right? You just dare it to don't come towards me because I'm done. I got things to do. And you try and hang on to yourself and not lose yourself in the pain or the discomforts. You try and stay who you are and not let it make you an angry person, I guess. I'm not exactly sure how to say that better. But I think it was a great poem and a wonderful job. So thank you so much, RLJZOWRJ. I need a little note back to me in this. I'm going to ask him how to say it, how he wants it to be pronounced, because I feel bad just spelling it out every time. But a great piece,
Right.
very well
Same
done.
here.
Absolutely. So well done, well done.
Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. I really like what you had to say, and I have to agree because, pain can get overwhelming and take over your life and your thinking. This definitely has a strong emotional impact. I do have to agree with you that first stanza really is what connects the best with the prompt. But I like how this speaks on the idea of, trying to have a positive enough attitude to, find joy in life, even when dealing with pain. I also like how, to me, although I lean more towards physical pain, I feel like this could speak on the idea of both physical and emotional pain. Um, And I like the use of the almost like personification. Your pain should just drown so that my face won't ever frown again, while love is making my heart beat this pretty sound, And those are wonderful lines there. And yeah, I just the mention of attacked by this painful disease as the end line makes me think of someone who's dealing with a chronic pain or a disease where pain is part of the what one has to deal with, and it can be very difficult to find a positive outlook in life when you're dealing with any kind of pain, whether it's physical or emotional. So I appreciate RLJ Zhao RJ sharing this with us. Very well done. All right. So let's see. Up next, we have Mountains by Eminem Fan 25. And whenever you're ready, Jean. Are you on? Did you step away, or are you on mute, or?
Yes, I was on mute and I didn't even realize it because I was over there making a comment. So my bad. So sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Now, I still didn't finish my comment, but that's okay. Things happen. And now Facebook's giving me a hard time putting the links up, but I cannot be held accountable for them. I just can't.
Yeah.
It did that last night too. It was giving me a hard way to go.
Oh yeah, it's done that to me before too.
Yeah, I'm like, an error has occurred. Like, come on, really? They had one job to do out of this. Okay, this piece is called Mountains by Eminem Fan 25. They say the grass is beautiful there on the other side. I hate to tell you here and now that all those people lied. If that day comes you lose a job, at first you might feel afraid, but as weeks pass, you learn how hard finding a job can be. You may feel great when you break up, because single life's a breeze, but then your heart aches all the time from constant memories. There is no rainbow pot of gold to take hard times away. We work, pay bills, and raise our kids, then repeat the next day. I've spent a lot of time in life just wanting so much more, and thinking once I learn the trade, it opens up a door. The world is such an unfair place. It's full of hits and pops. Beyond mountains, there are mountains. The climbing never stops. End poem.
Great read, Jean. I think I have to say, that particular quote or proverb, beyond mountains, there is mountains, I think was actually the most popular prompt taken. This is a wonderful rhyming poem by Eminem Fan 25. It's got a nice flow to it. Wonderful imagery and metaphors. I really like how to me the main message of this poem is how messages of this poem is how we feel like the grass is always greener on the other side, and sometimes it feels as if we just trudge through everyday life, and this poem is saying, you've got to face the reality that as he says in that one stanza, there is no rainbow pot of gold to take hard times away. We work, pay bills, and raise our kids, then repeat the next day. There's I'd have to say that it's interesting how Rose Winter 515 and Eminem Fan 25 translated or saw that particular proverb in different ways. I have to say, like for me personally, and I don't know, like I have to say that I did not look the meaning of that proverb up, but if somebody told me beyond these mountains are more mountains, I would probably feel frustrated. Because I feel like for me, metaphorically, mountains represent obstacles. So if somebody, said to me, once you get over these obstacles, there's going to be even more, I would feel kind of downtrodden and defeatist, which I feel like this comes across like in this particular right. Um, I'd hope in real life that Eminem Fan does find some sense of joy and peace and hope. But I actually like the singularity of expression in this because it keeps a consistency in tone, and it reminds us that how sometimes it can just feel so difficult to get through life. Um, and there's lots of great lines throughout, but I have to say it's those last three stanzas that really speak to me. So excellent, right, and very well done.
Nice comment, Pam. I thought this was a great take on the prompt. I thought there was a lot of truth expressed in it. It's like they always say, there's always another hurdle to jump. That's the basics of the mountain. There's mountains beyond mountains beyond mountains, and no matter what you accomplish, there's someplace else to climb. Whether you climb for what you want or climb for because you have to, it doesn't matter. You're still climbing. You're still climbing another mountain, getting over it. Getting over that hurdle. And I thought this was nice with that. I thought there was nice rhyme and meter, and it was well written. So I picked it right at the beginning. They say the grass is beautiful there on the other side. I hate to tell you here and now that all those people lied. If that day comes you lose a job, at first you might feel free. But as the weeks pass on, you learn how hard finding a job can be. You may feel great when you break up because single life's a breeze, but then your heart aches all the time from constant memories. So everything that we do, we have to kind of there's a flip side to it. You have to get past that and move on to the next. So I think it was well done, and it was a good take on the prompt. So nice job, Eminem Fan 25. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. All right. Well, up next, we have Clock Without Hands by Eric Svensson. And
Yeah.
we do have a SoundCloud for that.
Yes, we do. We do. Hang on, I'm waiting for this crazy thing to finish. There we go. Okay.
Clock without hands, upside down, wrong way round, back to front. We weave our nests, strobe light flashes of canary yellow flint spark. Finch adamant, we pinch green sprigs of hope. Needlepoint beaks, anagram telegrams in flood-proof fortresses. Feathered caps askew, each little dewdrop reflects our dreams. Magpie nature has us gathering little trinkets, creature comforts to fortify hearth and home. Inner sanctum glow with robin redbreast warmth. Blue jays somersault through azure skies. Time's weary weight of albatross days negated. Clock without hands, lava lamp sure, snail trails give away our nature. We piggyback our hearts on our backs, each in a circle, a corpuscle within humanity's spirals. Mind windmills of La Manche men, women, and children ever present to touch, to taste each day's precious manna before it evaporates. Kites, kestrels, and the bird in the hand. Narrow-billed toady salutes the Hispaniolan trogon, ardent interface on the clock without hands. Petulant red hibiscus petals flare open sultry skirts. Drum majorate stamens pummel scented salt-laden air. Flirtatious flits of birds of paradise indicted by strobe light sun. Little by little we weave, cleave unto our green hope sprigs of paradise. Haitian birds of a feather quill poignant proverbs together. Fastidious needlepoint beaks garner cross-stitch insight. Glean and glisten, lean in and observe nature. Born to thrive in vibrant nature, primal pulse pummels Gaia's innate rhythms. Original innocent circle dances beneath Milky Way maternity ward. Peacock-tailed comet trails baptize earthbound children of paradise. End poem.
Wonderful read and write here, Eric. Thank you for the SoundCloud. It is very much appreciated. Just a reminder, everyone, if you're unable to call in, the next best thing is to make a recording of your poem, because then we get to hear your poetry in your voice or how you would like it to be presented. And he wrote to the Haitian Creole quote, "Little by little, the bird makes its nest." This has wonderful wordplay, a nice, gentle use of alliteration, amazing imagery and metaphors. I like how he gives a nod to the birds, to their beauty, to their resilience, to their busyness. This actually makes me think of how the other day when I was going for a walk, I saw some red-winged blackbirds, and I love listening to red-winged blackbirds sing. But I like that this is about more than the birds. This is about how we are all connected, how through Mother Nature, being mother to all, to us, to nature, there's this idea of the connection. So I feel like even though, I mean, this works really well for this quote, but it also works really well for the proverb about us all being connected. I think this has great lines throughout. I like where it says, "Clock without hands, lava lamp sure, snail trails give away our nature. We piggyback our hearts on our backs, each inner circle a corpuscle within humanity spirals. Mind windmills of Lamacha, men, women, and children ever present to touch, to taste each day's precious manna before it evaporates." We've got to appreciate each day that we have. We have to appreciate the beauty of life. I also really like the end lines where it says, "Primal pulse pummels Gaia's innate rhythms, original innocence, circle dance beneath the Milky Way maternity ward, peacock-tailed comet trails baptize earthbound children of paradise." that idea of looking up into the heavens and connecting with that vast beauty and realizing that we're part of something bigger. We're a part of a whole. So wonderful lines, beautifully written, and very well done by Eric Svensson. And
I agree.
all right.
See that? Was that timing or what?
That was great timing.
Actually, I was here long enough to go, oh my gosh, I have to read this poem. And then I have to comment. So I did both. I thought that this was a great piece by Eric. He wanted to say Eric every time I go to say Eric. Ah, it's terrible. But it's an excellent piece, I thought. Loved the use of alliteration throughout, as always. I thought it was very well penned. And, you know, nothing happens all at once. You know, because the quote was, or the proverb was, little by little the bird makes its nest. But nothing happens all at once for anyone, anywhere. You know, I said we all build our lives a little at a time. And I think you did a great job with that. And I picked it up here. Feathered caps askew. Each little dewdrop reflects our dreams. Magpie nature has us gathering little trinkets. Creature comforts to fortify hearth and home. Inner sanctums glow with robin redbreast warmth. Blue jays somersault through azure skies. Time's weary weight of albatross days negate. You know, keep that albatross off your neck. You know what I mean? From around your neck. And I did also pick up the stanza that you quoted. But it was very well done, Eric, and thank you for sharing with us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. All right. Up next, we have Island Fair by Captain Kerr. And we do have a SoundCloud for that.
Why, yes, we do. Let's make it to my post. Oh, wait, I have to grab that link first. This is, what? That's the wrong place. Oh, I sent that link to the wrong place. Okay, there we go. And Captain Kerr. Got it. Here we go.
Drink from the waters of my well.
juste ne va pas être là. A brittle sea, non la mer fragile. Planets get you flecked up. Planet, you're à genoux en l'air. Sun is the secret in my teeth. Soleil, c'est un sacred en bouche moine. Voicing fragments of a spell. M'a chanté mon son en yon mystère. The Haitian power of my art. Exposing writings from my heart. Sake queen en Cameron. All tangled up. Toutes mêlées ensemble. All tangled up. Toutes mêlées ensemble.
Wonderful right here by Captain Kerr, and great choice of music to put with his lyrics. Thank you for the SoundCloud. It is very much appreciated. And your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I really thought that this was a great take on that chosen prompt. As you read through the lines, you know, when you look at the image, it kind of pulls together so nicely. I thought it was a great piece, penned and well presented. And I picked it up here. My full lip smiled, quilted from the trees, my body flowing, woven in with the leaves. The Haitian power of my art, exposing writings from my heart. Mountain mist and island face, mountain mist and supple grace. Mountain mist from ancient worlds, mountain mist with modern curves. My cool, clean features, island wiles, Haitian tunes, and fluted miles. I just thought it was really nicely done. So, great job, Captain Kerr, and thanks for sharing with us. I thought it was well done. So, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree. Great comment. I have to say, music like that, it's probably a good thing that we don't use cameras on this show, because y'all would see me like wiggling my hips and waving my arms above my head. And I mean, complete distraction. Like music like that makes me want to dance.
Right.
Yeah, but I like the imagery in this. I do really appreciate, and you know, I appreciate everybody who writes, but I do appreciate that Captain Kerr wrote to one of the artwork prompts. And then I have to say that particular piece actually is one of my favorites. I mean, I really like all the artwork in the contest, but that was one of my favorites. You know, so I don't know, I like the inspiration that he got from this. And to me, he writes in both the voice of a woman, the beauty and power of a woman, but he also, because he mentions the Haitian power of my art, I feel like he also gives a nod to the artist Albert de Mangles. And you know, so, and I like the imagery in this. It has a nice use of repetition with you know, the imagery of the mountains mentioned over and over again. I really also particularly like, I'm voicing fragments of a spell, a brittle sea, planets genuflect above, drink from the waters of my well in the sunset of my love. I really like how those lines speak on the power that that love has when it's shared. So beautifully written and very well done. All right. And now the question is, did I grab the next poem?
Yep.
That is a good question. Yes, I did. All right. It is My Mind is a Dawning by Kay Heartless. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read.
Okay, let's see what I can do here. My mind is the dawning. Like, hang on. My mind is the dawning of the day unseen. White and wise, mother blue sky searches my flanks for tiny specks of dead skin underneath the sheet. My covered breast dances, or branched outwards like half submerged trees. My backside a mountainside arching upwards towards its peak. What will become of my sanguine reflection? The empty twig of my memory. A leaky house does not deceive the rain, and when the stories carved on my backside like tattoos begin to fade again, I remember they're the ones I'll never see. But after the day's etchings and painful chores, before the turnings and snores, the moon sings her planned encore, and the stone in my stomach dislodges easily. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. And I see that she was inspired by the same painting. What a beautiful take on the chosen prompt. Um, I like how she puts herself, like she writes as herself, but she also puts herself into the mind of the woman. And wonderful imagery and metaphors. Like you can definitely see where the poem, with its chosen imagery, is inspired by the artwork, especially within those first that first stanza and the couplet after it. Um, but it stands on its own. Like it wouldn't need the image attached to it in order to, in order to be a strong poem. I like how this speaks on strength, like inner strength, but it also speaks on the idea of challenges faced. There's definitely beautiful lines throughout, but I do especially like a leaky house does not deceive the rain. And when the stories carved on my backside like tattoos begin to fade again, I remember they're the ones I'll never see. Wonderful lines, beautifully written, and very well done by Kay Heartless.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree, Pam. I thought it was an excellent piece penned on the chosen prompt. Great lines throughout, and I very much enjoyed it. And I picked it up right from the beginning because that was the obvious choice for me. My mind is the dawning of day unseen. White and wise, mother grew sky searches my flanks for tiny specks of dead skin, and underneath the sheet, my covered breast branched outwards like half submerged trees. I think that it suited that image so well, but you don't need the image to have it work. I mean, as you said, it's a standalone piece, and I think it was very well done. So thank you, Kay Heartless, for sharing with us tonight. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Yeah, and all right. So up next we have "Today I Walk" by Teresa Stresh. Wait, not Teresa Stresh. I almost said the wrong name.
Refresh.
Teresa S. So there we go. Today I walk in wild domain. I follow my path as best I can, beyond the entrapment of my brain, half credible, half understood. I hardly slept, strange music played as I turned my dreams into poems real, poetry, the pours out from my core, poetry that poured out from my core. Today I walk through wild domain. I follow my path as best I can, beyond the boundaries of my brain, now fully credible, simply seen. I turn my day into a work of art as I hammer the words into my heart. The poetry poured from out my core, the poetry will remain forevermore. End poem.
So, um, yeah, I thought this was a very powerful piece. I'm not exactly sure what the prompt is. Do you, Pam? Um,
I have no clue.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, it's very strong. Today I walked through wild domain. I follow my path as best I can. Beyond the boundaries of my brain, now fully credible, simply seen. I turn my day into a work of art as I hammer the words into my heart. The poetry poured from out my core. The poetry will remain forevermore. It just, I don't know, just to me, it had an inner strength, and that's what I liked about it. If I could put it to a prompt, I could kind of go, okay, like this much better. But I think that the lines were very good, and I think that it was well done. So thanks, Teresa S., for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Yeah, I too don't really know what prompt this was written to, but I have to agree that it is a strong right in the idea that it does speak on inner strength. I like I like the title Today I Walked in Wild Domain is a great first line. I like how that speaks on the idea of finding time to walk within nature, to connect with nature, to find that opportunity to not have to always be where it's always busy and everything feels fake, to be somewhere where things feel real. And I think there's great lines throughout, but I did especially like that first stanza, and especially the lines, today I walk in wild domain, I follow my path as best I can, beyond the entrapment of my brain. Like the idea of walking in nature, finding a sense of freedom, the idea of finding your own path to follow in life. And then the third line makes me think of the idea of how we can be our own worst enemy, that the way we talk to ourselves inside our head is like how we wouldn't talk to other people. We have a tendency to put ourselves down, and to be able to get away from that is so important. So excellent write by Teresa S., and very well done. All right. Let's see. All right. Up next, we have Bulgarian Door Proverb by Monty G. 25. And we do have a SoundCloud for that.
Yes, we do. Okay, I'm going to come in there. What did I do? Oh, hang on 1 second. How did I do that? I'm falling behind on my duties, Pam. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to start the music, and then I will fix my problem. Okay, so here we go.
Beyond the kitchen door, there is a kitchen. All kitchens have a door. Inside the kitchen, there are more doors. All kitchens have many doors. There are no doors behind kitchen doors. There is no kitchen behind the inside of kitchen doors. Many secrets are concealed behind kitchen doors. Behind the inside of inside kitchen doors are more secrets. There are many inside kitchen door secrets. Not all inside kitchen doors have secrets. Not all secrets are behind the inside kitchen doors. Not all secrets are inside the kitchen. Not all doors lead to a kitchen. All doors lead to a secret. Open doors hide no secrets. All secrets are behind closed doors. Open the closed door to reveal the secret.
thank you so much for the SoundCloud, Monty. It is very much appreciated. Wow, I really enjoyed this write, though I have to admit it had my brain spinning in circles. Oh my goodness gracious. Um, but I enjoy the wordplay, the humor, the twists and the turns. Um, it's a great take on the chosen prompt. Behind mountains, there are more mountains. I have to say the voice chosen, not the music itself, but the voice chosen for the reading made me think of listening to Jim Morrison read some of his poetry. So that was a nice touch. I like how this speaks to me on sometimes there's some different thoughts that come to my mind. First of all, I do see that he has one of the um, tags on this as deception, and I did think of that even before I saw that tag, that it's the idea of how deceptive people can be. And I like that the idea that there's not every door leads to where you think it's going to, and the doors, the door as a metaphor for what are you going to be facing next? What twists and turns, what deception is behind this door? What secret is going to be revealed? I'm actually very glad that he did a SoundCloud, because I'm pretty sure my tongue would have gotten like tripped up at some point during this read. So, but I think there's great lines throughout. But I especially like there are many inside kitchen door secrets. Not all inside kitchen doors have secrets. Not all secrets are behind the inside kitchen doors. Not all secrets are inside the kitchen. Sometimes we have to look beyond our limited space, our limited thinking, to find the true secrets to life. So, excellent write and very well done. And your thoughts, Jean?
Oh my God. My brain was ready to explode. I'm like, I'm looking at this, right? And I scrolled down real quick to look at the prompt, and then I went back up, and this is what I came up with, and I can't even tell you if I'm even halfway close. But I did do LOL. I assume each door is a mountain in a perspective. And I got where he was coming from. All kitchens have many doors. There are no doors behind kitchen doors. There's no kitchen behind the inside of kitchen doors. And I'm going, wow. Many secrets are concealed behind kitchen doors. Behind the inside kitchen doors are more secrets. There are many inside kitchen door secrets. Not all inside kitchen doors have secrets. I'm going, oh my God. And I'm telling you, my brain was ready to explode because I'm trying to keep up with the whole thought. So, very well done, I have to say, Monty. You're about 47 steps ahead of me. So that's about as good as my comment can become. But say thank you for sharing with us tonight. Pretty cool. And I love the sound of it. So, well done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. All right. Now, up next, we have Little by Little by A.L. Phelps. And we have a SoundCloud for that.
Yes, we do. Okay, give me 1 second because I have to do my duties.
All right.
I fell behind on them before. It was very upsetting. So, I can't have that happen again. Because I'm not exactly sure how it happened in the first place. I thought I was being good. I did. I really did.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
So that is up, and this is here, and I have it right here in my grubby little paws. Push the button.
Little by little, petit petit, oiseau finishly. Little by little, the bird builds its nest. little by little, not all at once, because some wounds heal like southern summer's end, slowly, with the long ache of crickets and the smell of rain rising from dirt roads at dusk. I have carried ruin in my teeth before, bit down hard on sorrow until my jaw locked with it. I've slept beside loneliness for so long it learned the shape of my body. Still, the mockingbird keeps singing from the rusted fence post. Still, magnolias bloom, fat and white, over graves forgotten by everyone except God. Still, morning comes crawling through broken blinds, like mercy too stubborn to die. Petit, petit, soiseau finishly. So I gathered what remained of myself, a splintered hymn, my name written shaky in dust, the memory of laughter echoing through an empty house. Little by little, I built a home inside my own bones. They said, "You are too damaged for beauty, but swamp lilies bloom from black water, and the moon hangs silver and unashamed above shotgun shacks and cemeteries alike. So who am I to believe resurrection belongs only to the saints? Petit, petit, soiseau finishly." Little by little, the bird builds its nest, twig by twig, loss by loss, prayer by prayer. And beneath weeping willows, where the river mutters its old gospel to the dark, something battered and breathing inside me finally learns how to stay. I'm not dead yet.
Wonderful read and write, Amy. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful and such a great take on the chosen prompt, which is little by little the bird builds its nest. Your thoughts, Jean?
Wow. I thought that this was absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to find a starting point for my thoughts. I think it was so well done. Um, I guess I'll start right here. Well, maybe. God. Uh, let's see. I've carried ruin in my teeth before, bit down hard on sorrow until my jaw locked with it. I slept beside loneliness. For so long, it learned the shape of my body. Still, the mockingbirds keep singing from the rusted fence post. Still, magnolias bloom fat and white over graves forgotten by everyone except God. Still, morning comes crawling through broken blinds, like mercy too stubborn to die. I'm not attempting it. So I gathered what remained of myself, a splintered hymn, my name written shaky in dust, the memory of laughter echoing through an empty house. Little by little, I built a home inside my own bones. They said, "You are too damaged for beauty." And I could keep going. I think it's just gorgeous. Wonderful imagery. I love the thoughts throughout. Uh, and I just really enjoyed it very much. And it was a great audio. I mean, I would have stumbled over the petit thing. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what that is. What does that mean? Is that the quote or the prompt, Pam?
It is the quote, yes,
Okay. See, I don't know
yes.
these things. I'm a little slow on the uptake. But I think that it's just, as I said in my other comment, little by little we build our life, and sometimes it's little by little we rebuild our life. So I think that this is just it's a stunning piece. I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Amy, for sharing with us. Very well done. Very well done.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, this is beautifully written. I love the consistency in tone, the imagery, and the metaphors. I like how this takes the prompt and interprets it as a journey of healing, and how a journey of healing isn't always big steps. Sometimes it's just little steps, the process of physically and emotionally healing is all about those little things that you do to get away from that which hurts you, to learn to allow the body and the mind and the soul to heal. Um, and there really is such beautiful lines throughout. But I especially like, so I gathered what remained of myself, a splintered hymn, my name written shaky in dust, the memory of laughter echoing through an empty house. Little by little, I built a home inside my own bones. They said, "You are too damaged for beauty," but swamp lilies bloom from black water, and the moon hangs silver and unashamed above shotgun shacks and cemeteries alike. Oh my goodness gracious. And just like you, Jean, I could keep going,
Yeah,
but I'll stop there. I mean, amazing lines throughout and very well done.
it's yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm still like going, yeah, but I wanted to grab that. It's like
Right?
this is another one of those where I sit there and I go, I really want to copy and paste the whole thing. And the piece in its entirety was so well done, but I liked what it had to say. It's not just that, oh, it just sounded good. It wasn't that. It meant something, and you could feel it. So I think this was really, as I said, a stunning piece. I don't usually use that word, but occasionally I do. Yeah, so it's just so well done. So yes, yes, yes. So as I said, thank you, Amy, for sharing with us tonight. Excellent job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And up next, we have The Bread Beneath Our Veins by Zulfikar Hamdam Awan. And go ahead, please, Jean, when you're ready, and give that a read.
Okay, you gonna sing a song?
Sing a little song, sing a little song.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
How little songs should I sing today?
Oh, I'm not supposed to be singing. Oh, it's such a catchy little tune. Let me go back here. Let me put this up because if I don't, I will be negligent in my little duties and responsibilities. There it is. There she goes. Now, where am I going? I'm going over here. Okay. The Bread Beneath Our Veins by Zulfikar Hamdam Awan. They say every vein touches the heart, not only the blue rivers beneath the skin of man, but the hidden roads between strangers, the invisible threads stitched through hunger, grief, and mercy. A child starves in a crowded alley, and somewhere a mother wakes in the middle of the night without knowing why her chest feels heavy. An old laborer collapses beside a factory gate, dust whitening his exhausted hair. And across the sea, a poet suddenly loses sleep, unable to explain the sorrow entering his window like rain. Because suffering never belongs to one body alone. Pain travels like blood, like prayer, like the scent of burnt bread escaping from a poor man's kitchen and entering the conscience of heaven. The world pretends otherwise. The rich build walls high enough to hide the trembling hands outside their banquet halls. Governments polish statistics, while children search garbage heaps and bruised fruit for bruised fruit and half-eaten mercy. Men speak proudly of progress beneath electric chandeliers, yet millions still measure life by how long water can silence hunger. Still, every vein touches the heart. The woman selling oranges beneath the punishing sun is connected to the businessman adjusting his silk tie inside a cool office tower. The fisherman swallowed by storms belongs to the same fragile body as the tourist photographing sunsets from a luxury ship. No life suffers alone. The earth remembers every word. That is why war eventually enters every home. even though it is built far from the smoke. That is why greed poisons not only the poor, but the souls of those who feast while others disappear. Humanity is not a collection of separate nations. It is one trembling body, and poverty is the bruise we keep trying to cover instead of heal. I once saw a little boy break a single piece of bread into 4 parts for his younger sisters. He smiled while remaining hungry himself. In that moment, he seemed wealthier than men who owned entire banks, yet could not spare kindness. For the heart grows rich not by gathering, but by giving. This is the oldest truth God ever placed inside human veins. The rivers know it. Why else would they travel endlessly, only to pour themselves away? The trees know it. Why else would they spend their whole lives offering fruit and shade to strangers? Even the sun understands. It shines upon palaces and broken roofs alike. Only man keeps dividing what heaven made whole. Border, classes, colors, tongues, faiths, and coins. As though hunger speaks different languages, as though tears require passports. But stand beside a hungry mother holding a fevered child, whether in Gaza, Haiti, Sudan, Lahore, or anywhere beneath God's sky, and you will discover the sorrow has one face. So does hope. Perhaps this is what the proverb means. Every vein touches the heart, because every human life flows secretly into another. The baker feeding strangers, the nurse working through exhaustion, the farmer kneeling in ruined fields, the teacher buying books with money meant for himself. These are not small acts. They are the heartbeat keeping the world alive. And perhaps one day, when history finally grows ashamed of its greed, human beings will learn what rivers, trees, and mothers already knew from the beginning, that no one truly survives alone. Until then, let us become gentler with each other. Let us feed the hungry before feeding our pride. Let us build longer tables instead of taller walls. Because somewhere tonight, a stranger's pain is already traveling quietly through the unseen veins of the earth on its way to your heart and bone. Wow.
Great read there, Jean. What an amazing write by Zulfikar Hamdam Awan. Strong imagery, really thoughtful and heartfelt lines. I like how this speaks on connection found between people, and yet it also, what I really think makes this right strong to me is that it speaks on the idea that, yeah, there's a connection, but there's sadly also a separation. There's those who have all the riches, all the comforts of that, and then there's those who are suffering, the homeless, the hungry. And it reminds us that those who are in need, we need to reach out to. We need to help. Um, and there's just great lines throughout. Um, but I especially like where it says, that is why greed poisons not only the poor, but the souls of those who feast while others disappear. Humanity is not a collection of separate nations. It is one trembling body, and poverty is the bruise we keep trying to cover instead of heal. That is such powerful lines there, beautifully written and very well done.
Yeah, this is this is pretty amazing piece. Um, oh gosh, this is another one of those. It's so hard to just. Um, I feel like I'm picking it apart, to grab a section. Uh, Only man keeps dividing what heaven made whole. Borders, classes, colors, tongues, faiths, and coins, as though hunger speaks different languages, as though tears require passports. But stand beside a hungry mother holding a fevered child, whether in Gaza, Haiti, Sudan, Lahore, or anywhere beneath God's sky, and you will discover that sorrow has one face. So does hope. Perhaps that is what the proverb means. Every vein touches the heart because every human life flows secretly into another. And I could keep going. I really could. I want to keep going. And I guess that's the beauty of the piece. I find it's just really incredible. I think it was an excellent, impactful piece. Very well said. And there's so many truths written into it. I mean, how do you pick and choose? I mean, I just thought it was wonderful all the way through. And very well said. And it's something the world needs to take heed of. You know what I mean? It really is. It's one of those things that needs to be shared, and everyone needs to stop and think about it. And I think it was just nicely done. So great job, Zulfikar, and thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. I really enjoyed this piece.
Absolutely. Well said there, Jean. I have to agree with you. I did too. All right. So up next, we have A Stranger Face by Lockdown Larks. And we do have a SoundCloud for that.
1 second. I gotta get that. The boss is watching me.
Uh-oh. Somebody's keeping an eye on you.
Faziana said that was so touching. She said it was a beautiful message of hope. And I agree with her 100%.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So here is Lockdown Larks' piece is now in the spot. So let me hit this one.
From eons of fire and ice, rose spears, and handprints on cave walls in early years. They name the stars, yet still fear the night. The sentients who sing to gods to bless their fight. I am an echo of all gone before, a fire and ice, friend or foe, and much more. Made of only two, yet from millions cast. So many related strangers, living now and in my past. But whilst an echo, it is not the end. If I meet a stranger and call them friend, building with stone and marching with steel, lands mapped by blood in a migration wheel. When strangers came, the natives would fall. Now a sound of silence is a fear in us all. You are an echo of all gone before, a fire and ice, friend or foe, and much more. Made of only two, yet from millions cast. So many related strangers, living now and in your past. But whilst an echo, it is not the end. If you meet a stranger and call them friend, beyond 2 is 4, 8, then keep doubling for fun. In 25 generations, ancestors are 33 million. Now look in the mirror and see a stranger face, and realize the unseen all walk in this place. We are an echo to the eon's end, reach out to you now. If every mirror hears the heartbeat tune, then you will inherit this togetherness vow. You will be an echo, not the end. If you meet a stranger and call them friend, then every mirror beyond will show the vow we left you, that love must grow.
Wonderful, right here by Lockdown Larks. He shared this on the topic board because it connects with the quote, "We are all connected." Thank you for the SoundCloud. It is very much appreciated. And your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I thought that LL did a great job with this. They were nice lyrics. And, you know, I put in quotes here: "A friend is a stranger we have yet to meet." You know, as that's common statements that I've heard throughout my old years, all my years. I'm getting old, but I thought it was a nice choice of music as well. Good lines all the way throughout, and I picked it up. We split the atom and touched the moon, so to the eons ahead we reach out to you now. In every mirror hears the heartbeat tune. Then you will inherit this togetherness vow. You will be an echo, not the end. If you meet a stranger and call them friends, then every mirror beyond will show the vow we left you. Love must grow. I thought it was a good piece, solid piece. So very well done, LL, and thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Oh, I have to agree. I have to agree. Wonderful, wonderful right here. Beautifully written lyrics with, as always, great rhyme and flow. Wonderful imagery and metaphors. I like how this speaks to me on the connection shared throughout history that allows strangers to become friends. And I think there's great lines throughout, but I do especially like "We are an echo of all gone before, of fire and ice, friend or foe, and much more, made of only two, yet from millions cast, so many related strangers living now and in our past." Wonderful lines, beautifully written, and very well done. All right, so we'll have two carryovers that I'll put on the beginning of next week. That'll be Eric's Off the Radar by Eric Svensson and Bonds by Jordan Ace 7. Great shows.
You know we're not locked into midnight, right? I mean, if you want, we can finish them. It's entirely up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
I didn't think about it. We can do that.
I know. Well, we're also locked into getting thrown out at 12 o'clock.
Right. I don't know. I remembered that until like this moment, and then I was like, oh.
I know, and I also know you have a show at 12:30. So I mean, if you don't want to hang in for a little longer, that's fine, because I get it. You know, it's always nice to take a break and take a drink and, well, water, that is. And then,
absolutely.
And then move on to the next one. So it's totally up to you.
Yep, we can do that. All right. So up next, we have Off the Radar by Eric Svensson. And it goes like this. Drum percussion clears concussion. Spinal cushions get fluffed. Not unlike lovers' squashed pillows. Curtains flung open to sun swipe aside cobwebs. Nape of neck soars, navel smiles, satiated, muscular legs unlock, braided yin and yang, rope unravels, gentle bolero separation. At the end of their tethers, friends suggest a trip to Haiti. Go get in touch, feel the pulse, rekindle lost energy. details too scant for such analytical minds. All sounds a bit primitive, doesn't it? Do or die, darling. So nothing ventured, nothing gained. Primal pulse upon a full moon night, ethereal shimmy shake in dolphin's wake, tropical saline lucidity reminiscent of warm womb waters, safe, secluded, and secured, yin yang wallowed, phosphorine particles gently pushed, perimeters, limbs loosed up, hot air balloon lift off from cognitive city complexities. We've been invited to a drum celebration tonight. Close by, dolphin Twitter seemed to sanction sugarcane ushers, guided them to the rendezvous. Circle of torches waved a hearty welcome. Central altar glowed, glimmered with candles. Effigy of Madonna and child held serene sway. Worshippers dressed in white cotton suede allayed themselves with gentle drum palm pummel. Corporeal concerns slowly dripped from minds like hot candle wax, familiar with Pentecostal worship gatherings back home. Yin and yang gave each other that familiar look. This is a different kettle of fish. Down to the river we go to pray, the good old fashioned way. A sea of sugarcane swayed, caroled them, air heavy laden with spices lassoed with their senses, do or die, off the radar, safely tugged away in Haiti. Yin and yang defrosted, drum conversation spoke about versatility. Feel it in your bones. Push, pulse, push, pull, like two shy teenagers on prom night. They swayed, two sleek yachts, tugging at their mooring, gentle wave ripples in their sugarcane harbor gathered momentum from dainty steed stroll to spirited canter. Mayor nostrils flared, rose to the steeplechase challenge and poem. And this one was actually one that I went and grabbed. It was written originally for a Music of Haiti contest. And I thought, though, it actually fit quite well with tonight's theme and with the spirituality of the artwork on tonight's show. And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, first off, you poor soul, you didn't have to do that because there was a SoundCloud attached. But
Oh, I already checked. It wasn't
oh, it doesn't work.
available.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, oh no, poor Pam.
Yeah, no, trust me, with Eric Svensson, if I
Oh my
see a
gosh.
SoundCloud link, I check.
Honest to God. Yeah, I thought that this was an amazing write by Art. You know, he captured things so well in this. He captured the people, I think. The traditions, maybe. Is that the right word? The day-to-day life. I just think he did a fabulous job. There's so many strong lines throughout. And it was really well done, and I really enjoyed it. And I kind of picked it up here, but I wasn't really sure where I should pick it up. But close by, Dolphin Twitter seemed to sanction. Sugarcane ushers guided them to the rendezvous. Circle of torches waved a hearty welcome. Central altar glowed, glimmered with candles. Effigy of Madonna and child held serene sway. Worshippers dressed in white cotton swayed. They laid themselves with gentle drum pummel. Corporeal concerns slowly dripped from minds like hot candle wax. You can kind of envision, I don't know if you call it a ceremony of sorts, but I would think maybe. And you can see the people because he paints such a wonderful picture with his imagery. So I think that, Eric did an excellent job with this. And great grab, Pam. Great grab. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. And yes, wonderful comment there, Jean. Yeah, I have to say that for this contest that this was written for, this was definitely a well-deserved silver. Um, just amazing wordplay, beautiful, captivating lines and imagery and metaphors. I like how this speaks on the idea that there's different ways to follow a spiritual path, different ways to you know, worship. And I like how this captures the spirit of the Haitian people expressed through the spirituality of dance and music. Um,
Nice.
and so many great lines throughout. But I did especially like the third and fourth stanza. Nicely written and very well done. All right. And put up our last poem for the night, which is Bonds by Jordan Ace 7. And go ahead, please, Jean.
Oh, wait, I gotta get to my post.
All right.
That link.
Hurry, scurry, helter skelter.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. Because I'll be doing something else. I'm like, wait, I have to do something else first. This is, I'm feeling a little backwards these days. Okay. Bonds by Jordan Ace 7. It's a soulful experience, a treat. The mind and hearts repeat. An amazing story, a pause but complete. Tears flow and breeze held in need. A feeling felt not single but equally. The heart slow, speed up, but are synced until the moment's over. Let go of link and poem.
Great read there, Jean. This is a wonderful brevity by Jordan A7. I do appreciate him sharing it with us on the topic board. I'm not really sure which prompt it connects with, but I still find it a beautiful and emotive write. I like that it speaks on the idea of the emotions that we share so that in order to become in sync with each other.
It
And
could be one. It could be the prompt about the hearts.
we are all connected.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be actually, because it did make me think of a deep connection formed through emotions shared. So that very well could be. But yeah, nicely written by Jordan A7, who is a new name to me. So very cool to see a new name. And I'm glad he shared something. And your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I agree with you. It's a nicely penned brevity, and it was a great share. What you said about the piece is what took me to that prompt, and it could very well be. If not, it was a happy accident. That it ended up here, but very nicely done, and yeah, much appreciated to share. So thank you, Jordan Ace 7. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And wonderful show tonight. Thank you, as always, Jean, for being my twisted sister. Thank you to Amy, Robbie, Monty, and anyone else who hung on the board, listened over, on YouTube or Facebook. We really appreciate you all. Thank you to everyone who wrote for the show, is listening now, or will be listening later. You are all truly appreciated. In about 20 minutes, give or take, you can join Aphasiana and Babbler for part sinner, part saint. And also make sure to keep an eye out on the contests and topic boards put up by Late Night Poets hosts and hostesses, because you're sure to find something to inspire. And Jean, anything you'd like to say in closing?
Well, it was a great show tonight, Pam. Wonderful poetry, wonderful prompts. And yeah, I think we got out of this unscathed. We didn't bleed or get hurt or, no casualties tonight. That's pretty good. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah, I think everything was a fine show. So thank you for being my twisted sister. And she's a twisted
Absolutely.
sister. That's why she got the buns on. She's very twisted. Anyway, I'm just teasing. Okay, I'm gonna shut up so we can get out of here because I know
All
you have
right.
to do.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you everybody. Appreciate it. Be good.